What is up, Creative Church? Chari Orozco here. I'm so unbelievably honored to be at the CouchFest. You can tell that I'm not sitting on a couch. Usually, actually, I don't always look like this. Well, it's because I am on the Awakening TV set today. Yep. Many of you know me from being the creative director at Celebration Church in Jacksonville, or from my podcast, I Cry in Corners. But I am in a new season, my friends. I am working for Awakening TV, a new streaming service that actually launches April 2021. Chari, why are you starting with that? Because I don't normally get all glammed up, and I don't normally stand on a set, but I want to say this at the get, that what I'm about to share with you, this is an example of what God can do if you're faithful with your creativity. Never in a million years did I ever think that I'd be standing on a set. Never in a million years did I ever think I'd be preaching at creative conferences. Never in a million years did I ever think I'd be writing TV shows. I am living in the exceedingly abundantly and above all I could ask and imagine. And the only reason I am doing that is because I'm about to tell you exactly how I got here. But before I do that, I just want to say, Nick, I love you. Lydia, I love you. Thank you so much for loving me, believing in me, giving me a place for my podcast when nobody knew who I was, a place for my book when nobody knew who I was. I love you guys, and I'm so honored that you let me be part of your platform and your conference. And for everybody else, I just want you to do me a favor. I want you to pretend I'm that weird aunt that always says everything a little bit too intense. But you love me, and I buy you things. So I'm gonna ask you permission to speak into your life today, probably a little bit more intensely than a normal person does. And I'm gonna ask you to do this with peace, and to do this with an understanding that everything I'm gonna say to you is actually in love. And yeah, because I love you. I do. I might not know you, but I genuinely love you. And are you guys okay with the walking around? Is everything all right? Okay. I'm just gonna actually roll that with that, because, you know, there's a million people around that you actually don't see, that I'm not normally used to shooting these jokers with people. I'm usually doing it by myself, which actually is kind of ironic, because that's kind of what my message is about today. Anyways, so just know that I love you, that what I'm gonna say is to get you here, is to get you to the place that is exceedingly abundantly above all that you can ask and imagine. I want you to move past settling, past good enough, and towards what God actually wants for you, which is awesome and beyond what you want and what you could even imagine. So we're gonna jump right in. But before I actually give you my message, if you'll allow me, I would love to give you 3 things that you need to know about creativity. 3 things, as this is a creative conference, and you cannot refine your creativity if you first do not define your creativity. Creativity in the kingdom is very different than creativity in the temporal world, as creativity in the kingdom is just a representation of what the Creator is already doing. I'm super mad I put on eyelashes, because I'm gonna cry through this. So I need you to hear me, and hear me very closely. Creativity is very different in the kingdom than what the world perceives. See, everyone thinks they're a creative now. Everyone's a creative, everyone takes pictures, everybody has an Instagram bio and a brand. You can watch TikTok right now, the TikTok is what I call it, and they will tell you this is how you pick your colors, this is how you make your stuff look all dope, and that's not creativity. Creativity is 3 things. I want you to write this down. Creativity is actually reproducing. Chari, what are you talking about? When a woman gets pregnant and she has a baby, she's not creating that baby from scratch. There's a conversation that needs to happen before that actually happens. She's actually reproducing something. And in the kingdom, we are attached to the Creator, and we are just reproducing what He's actually doing from heaven onto earth. Which means the second thing, creativity is not just reproducing. Creativity is actually being a problem solver. Nothing hurts me more in the church than when admin girls, or people in marketing, or people in accounting, or whatever, the guy in the parking lot, when they're like, oh, that's the creative team. No, my friend, you're the creative team. If you as the creative team in the church and in your field are not calling out creativity and everybody else, you're doing it wrong. Because creativity, my friend, is not taking pictures or being an artist. Creativity is actually being a problem solver. So creativity is reproducing. Creativity is problem solving. Chari, what do you mean by that? It's pretty much just taking kingdom solutions and bringing them into the temporal. We have a DP on our staff. His name's Santana. And a couple months ago, I walked up to him and I said, bro, I want to shoot a documentary. Chari, have you shot a documentary? No, I haven't, but I'll do it anyway. And so I packed him up, our whole team, we went to New York, and we did it. We shot this epic documentary in New York. And every time I didn't know what I would do, he would look at me and he would say, we're going to make it happen. You know what a creative does? It makes it happen. A creative in the kingdom puts things together, regardless whether it's duct taped or whether it's done with $1 million budget. In the kingdom, God doesn't need money, he needs obedience. You need to make it happen. We're in the middle of a pandemic. Your church is probably wondering how you're going to continue to push forward the way things were. It's not the way things were anywhere, my friend. You have to look at things and be able to get things done in a way that you've never got it done before. But you'll never be able to do that if you don't first understand that creativity is not being an artist. Creativity is reproducing what the Creator is doing, and creativity is bringing kingdom solutions into the temporal. The third thing that creativity is, my friend, is creativity is a gift. The thing about gifts in the kingdom is that gifts need to be surrendered. You know, when the 3 wise men found Jesus, they took these gifts and they gave it to him. If you want your creativity to go past and surpass everything that you think, that you want, and that you need, and that your congregation needs, and that your boss is asking you to, you gotta surrender it. Creativity has to be surrendered in the kingdom for it to go past all the things that that you're processing, that you want to do, that you want to succeed at. In order for you to be successful in the kingdom with your creativity, my friend, you have to surrender it. Chari, what does that mean? That means before you sit there and you put your songs all over the Instagram, you actually sing it in private for a couple months. Before you go pitch your ideas to your boss because you think you should be the boss, you surrender it a little bit and you pray about it and you take it to God. Everything you do, you take a minute and you lay it at Jesus' feet and you say, God, is this good, Lord? Do you see the good in this? Do you see the great in this? And when he says release it, then you release it. That's why I said it's a reproduction. Creativity is a reproduction of what God's doing. Guys, I'm in a season I don't understand. I don't understand the season that I'm currently in. I don't understand the lashes that I'm wearing. I don't understand the lipstick that I have on. I don't understand that after I'm done shooting this and sending it over to you, I got to do another thing. I hate being in front of the camera. I don't even know how I'm in the position that I'm in right now, but I will tell you that all I ever did was just give it back to God. They'd put me in a position, I'd give it back to God. They'd ask me to do something impossible, I gave it back to God. And when I didn't know what to do, I would open up my Bible and say, God, what do you want to do? If you want God to use your creativity, before I can even refine your creativity today, I need you to define it, and define it as a reproduction of what God is doing. Redefine it as a gift that he has given you, and redefine it as a solution for the place in which you are. God wants you to be a solution. He wants your creativity to be a solution. He wants your life to be a solution, and it cannot be a solution if it is not first surrendered.